This is crop protection, so I'm going to talk about it. But before I go there, I'd quickly like to show you what SmartFarm really does at this point in time. It's an early stage company, but the technology we deploy in the back end today wasn't possible to do it 4 years ago. So it's everything what we do is actually stuff that couldn't be done before, and you see similar startups popping up in Silicon Valley and Europe at the same time. So what we do seems to be exactly what is required in the industry. I myself have been a farmer for 9 years, so I think, or I claim to really know what the problem is. And I'll show you really now what the problem was. But basically, summed up in a sentence, SmartFarm is a data management and services company that help farmers who are frustrated with the collection and interpretation of data from multiple sources. So we automatically collect and interpret these sources of data and generate for the farmer convenient and easy to use dashboards for every individual field. Dashboards like management dashboards where you have your data visualizations on. And then obviously that's also available over mobile devices. Basically, we farmers find it difficult to use weather data, satellite imaging, soil moisture, spatial mapping, laboratory data, and many more of these data sources all at once. Making it a real, and everything's installed and run on platforms incompatible to each other, so they don't talk to each other. And making it a real nightmare for farm managers to manage, but also to base their decisions on. So, I've had Orange River farmers, I've had farmers in Culloden, and if you ask them where have you got all your sources of data, and it usually lies all over the show. One big well-known wine estate here, you all know it, didn't even know that their data was sitting on another PC with another service provider, and didn't even know that it existed. Another farmer didn't know that his data existed, soil maps, classification maps, because he's a new manager on that farm and didn't know that there was that data actually available. So for farmers, it's a real mission and a mess, and it's actually not their job to do it. But with what we do, there's certainly a solution. And compounding this is that more and more of these tech solutions enter the market on a daily basis, making what we do now the right time to do. So we basically clean up this data mess and aggregate the data in what we call widgets, little windows, on one dashboard. It's a one-of-a-kind, one-stop shop all solution for a farmer, and visualize it on the dashboard. This is basically how a farmer would design his dashboard, a smartphone-style intuitive-to-use interface, visualizing 10,000 sets of data comprehensible in seconds. It basically makes the scientific complex easy and simple. So how do we do it? Is by actually smart connecting a farm with our Wi-Fi mesh. It's a new type of technology that creates a Wi-Fi like you have in your house or in your office, but a low energy one, and it spreads it all across your farm. And it's got very low energy use, so you don't use solar panels, you use batteries in these units that are spread out, and those could be soil moisture probes, those could be pheromone traps, those could be scales, and weather station as the base station. We use the weather station in our case as the base station, which then aggregates all the data and sends it out into the farmer's own cloud-based database. So the farmer gets his own database and all his stuff is there. But with the Wi-Fi mesh out there, it becomes so much easier to put much more sensors out there, and it's a reliable system. It's been running now for already a year. And these unit sensors which we put out there, they include flow meters, pressure gauges, soil moisture probes, RFID tags, diesel meters, and many of these are already existing on the SmartFarm platform today. And then we also integrate from outside sources outside data sources such as satellite imaging. In our case here, FruitLook is on the system. Outside data sources from laboratories, and even data consultants that generate, and like I said, laboratories. These are just, a few live demo. I've just shown you one. There's just a few different visualizations that are possible with our dashboards. And the farmer basically generates his own dashboard. So he populates his dashboard for each field the way he needs it to. If he's got vineyards and apples, he'll put different visualizations on these because they're completely different crops. And it's up to the farmer to decide what to do there. Our stuff is basically available also already now on tablets. We're going, in the next 6 months, we'll have our mobile apps also out there, and it's actually going to be four different mobile apps. And that's where we come to talk about the crop protection quickly. With the mobile apps we'll be developing in the next few months, the irrigation weather app, which is basically an app that shows you your weather and your soil moisture data on one app. You can easily, quickly see what's going on, plus the system sort of calculates a theoretical value of what it would take to refill your soil profile. Obviously, you then as a farmer can go out into the field and observe the data there and then see and then decide really, am I going to irrigate or not irrigate? But he can do it out in the field with his mobile app. He doesn't need to go back into the office and log in and check everything out and then go out into the field. Another app which we'll be developing is a GIS app. So any type of GIS data, your fruit look data, your NDVIs that you've been taking with drones and planes, your KML files from Google Earth, you can view them all out in the field in the GIS app. And here the Field Scout app. Now this one is it's my favorite one because what it basically does also for the landowners and the farm manager, if they send out their managers and foremen out into the field, that foreman can basically record his route. It actually can also be a consultant. So if a consultant goes and visits the farm manager is not there, and the farmer has shared his data with the consultant who goes out into the field can press the record button, and it basically tracks his whole route. So if the consultant takes an image of a disease or a pest and puts a note, and then we've got to spray this and this product against thrips or anything else that he finds. It records his whole trip with a geotagged image, with a geotagged time and notes. And in the end, he just says, finish the recording, and it automatically sends it to the farm manager, who then gets it into his email inbox and then can see, okay, these are the things that whoever did the trip discovered. And that's, I think, personally also where I would have done it on my farm, get my foreman to, who was well trained. I'm not on that farm, unfortunately, anymore. I would like to farm again as quickly as possible. But he could do that route trip. And one of the things that is also part of the Field Scout app is a recorder, a protocol recorder. So and there we're talking a little bit about that, how to structure that and how to design that protocol for the guy that actually does the field visit with hort grow. And there, it basically the principle is to include, because everything on the crop protection runs around observation and more observation. But it's obviously a complete nightmare for farmers to do that amount of observation, and that's where ICT can really come in and streamline that and make it easier, so that when the guys go out into the field, they know exactly, because this is the protocol that they stuck to when they did some pheromone counts, or when they went to sample trees in an orchard. You might have 10, 15, 20 trees in an orchard that you observe. When he goes to the tree, what does he observe there? What does he check up? And he goes through this list, this protocol of, what do we want to record? And then at the end, it's just automatically saved into the database and is there available live. So that's the Field Scout app. And then we've got a last one, a labor tracker app, which, you basically can see where your staff is on the farm. You can see on your app, okay, they're on this field now, and they actually should already be in that field. Something's wrong there. You can pick up the phone, give them a call. You can see where your operators are. And there's more stuff still to come on the labor tracker. I don't want to go into that detail here now. But basically deployed properly, and especially also on the crop protection stuff. Cost savings, we did some preliminary calculations on average farms in the different industries, because we not only serve fruit, we also serve the grains, and that vastly deviates, but some early figures show these type of cost savings and yield increases. But summed up, we tidy up a farmer's data mess. We sort his multiple sources of data into one system with one login, and everything's there, and there you share it with your people that you work with, your consultants, your scientists, your soil scientists, etc. We automate Smart Connect and even remote control. We're busy installing a remote controlled irrigation system on one of the stockies producers here. And then we have the dashboards. Your your computer-based system where you can see all your data, where you can dig into much more detail than what you actually have on your mobile apps. And yeah, all of that is mostly live and key metrics and basically fast and simple decision. Okay, there's just all the people that that we are to some extent involved with, and what some guys call the spider web. It's obviously, as a startup, not an easy thing, but ultimately what my SmartFarm is for the farmer, it is an aggregation of all the different stuff that is out there, and he's just got to worry about one thing, and we worry about the rest for him. Yeah, that's it from my side.